So now when I put the heat on, it's really cementing the layers of this now landscape looking alcohol ink trivet. Hello, now this is a larger of the glaze tile, and I'm going to make this into a trivet, and that's what I'm hoping that you have gotten a larger tile so that you can enjoy making something that is a bigger coaster or a trivet like this. We'll go through this and I'll show you the different, how to get the kind of a landscape look. So we start again, you're going to wipe off your tile, get it nice and clean, and you're going to take up all the lids of the different colors you want to use. I have some bottles on the side there of different colors that are not mixed with the Claro Extender, because when you add the ones out of the straight bottle, it's a little bit stronger. Then the ones with the Claro Extender have more of a transparent look. So I start with the brass, and I'm just adding color to the substrate very randomly, no plan. And then I'm going to add some more of the alcohol blending solution, kind of to spread out that brass. And then again, I'm using the Claro or the Revlon hair dryer because it pushes the paint. You can choose to use a heat tool that has something on it to push the paint, or just plain heat. Either way, I have both utensils. I'm using in this one the one that blows the paint. I'm going to start with the warm colors and add the warm colors throughout this trivet to start. I wanted to show you an example of using a lot of color in one trivet. If you use complementary colors, for instance, you'll see me do the greens and the reds, you're going to get some mud, which is, I'm okay with that. The way I added it, I kept them separate, and so I did not get a lot of mud. But I wanted you to see what it looks like to have multiple colors together on one substrate. Now at any given time, I could have stopped on this because of the beauty of the alcohol. It's a very simplistic look that looks like a flower to me, so I could have stopped at that point if I chose to. If you look down, you can see the different layers that are being built up. Each layer you put down and then dry it and then add more, you're going to get more of a layering look. Now I'm adding like a hot, like a spicy orange, I believe. Right out of the bottle, you can see it's a little bit stronger. The spreading is because there was still some wet of the alcohol from before. You can see when I add the blending solution, it separates it. So I'm using a fan brush right now and moving some of the paint around. I'm kind of scrubbing it in, removing some of the lines that I may have had on there just to make it smoother. I'm using the heat to layer the new additional color I put down. Now I'm adding some more with a pipette of the color with the Claro Extender. More of a, again, more, makes it more transparent when you do the Claro Extender. Going to be adding some more of the metallic, the brass. You could add a couple different of the, you could do the brass and the gold, or you could do the brass and silver. So again, when you see when I'm drying it, it does reactivate. The more alcohol you add, the more it will blend and reactivate some of the layers. There I'm grabbing the Q-tip and touching. The thinner that it is, the quicker that it will react to the dotting of the alcohol. This is a type of art, if you've never done this before, be kind to yourself. Learn the art. It's okay to play. It's okay to get some, like at this point, I could wipe all the alcohol ink off with a paper towel and alcohol and start over. Allow yourself to meet the alcohol product with where you are. If you've never used it before, don't be too hard on yourself. Let yourself learn the product and know that there may be a slight learning curve while you're learning how the alcohols move, how the alcohol and the Claro Extender mixed moves, how it looks when it comes right out of the bottle. So there's one little spot there, it has a little bit of mud, and I don't mind that. I don't mind having little browns. I love the color. Now I'm grabbing right out of the bottle a very strong purple and dripping that in. Some spots, because it was a little bit more wet, it's going to blend more. Of course, I'm now adding the alcohol blend. Now again, that bottle could be just alcohol that you put on there. I just happen to have the alcohol blending solution, so that's what I used. So when you put the blending solution on and it dilutes with that purple alcohol, it's going to bloom out not as deep purple. I could add some more of the purple at this point and it would be thicker, I guess you could, darker. Now I'm going in with some blue, because my point here is to use all the colors. I want to use them all. I wanted you to see what it looks like. I want you to practice on this one with using as many colors as you think you'd like to use. And it's important to get yourself out of a solution, out of a problem with a solution. So if right there and I'm thinking, oh, what have I done? I've really put unusual colors. Figure out how to fix it. That's what playing with this medium is all about. Explore. Explore how they bloom out. Explore how adding several of the pipettes full of the alcohol inks before you dry. Explore how it looks when you use the heat tool on every application. Again, I'm adding some alcohol, and it could be 77% or that's 99% because I had it. I'm dabbing it down in with the Q-tip, and since that's a thicker layer, it's taken a little bit longer for the blooming of the dabbing of the alcohol. But there it goes. You can see them all activating. So I could stop there. But I have some white space, and I wanted to take this as far as I could with you. I wanted to fill up the whole trivet with color. And then if you remember the beginning picture, and I'll show it again on the end, you'll see what it looks like when I take this into more of a landscape look. There I'm adding some white. There's an actual white with the alcohol inks that you can get. Sometimes I dry it on the low, sometimes I dry it on the high. Again, if you remember, there is a heat tool that does not have the blowing mechanism. Some do. That's an actual hair dryer, so it does have the blowing mechanism, which is what I like for this project. So I'm really drying this one well. So again, I could stop at this point. It's beautiful. I have some white space. So I'm taking the brush, I dipped it in the alcohol, and I'm going around because I want to remove all the white space. I want to cover up this whole trivet. I dipped that in one of the colors there. So I'm really filling up this tile with color. It's almost like a spring-like, and when I filmed this lesson for this course, it is just turned spring this week. So I'm drying what I just put down. So I'm looking for some more color. You could do these projects with 3, 5, 10 colors, as little as you want, because you could mix them together. Remember, one of the pinks I have there is the begonia and the begonia pink mixed together. Or, like me, I probably have about 20 different colors. But on this project, I just didn't look. I just wanted to get color down. I was not precious about what color to pick. I was just interested in having a very colorful trivet. The uniqueness of this, as you see, I do have some large colorful areas, some smaller. I did that because I could have stopped there. It almost looks like some blue flowers with a background of some, you know, pinks and yellow flowers. But I decided to take it further. But as you see the composition, where you have some bigger fields of color and smaller, and that's pleasing to the eye. So I added some more dark in there. I'm going to use some of the alcohol. Again, you can use the alcohol blend, or you can just use straight alcohol to blend that. So I'm looking at that, and what I might do next is maybe lighten up some areas on there. I still have a good balance between some larger color swatches and some darker. Yep, there I go in and add some white. So I have a good balance. Always looks real pretty to have light against dark and dark against light. I'm bringing in some more of that metallic. Landscape by taking the brush, dipping it into straight alcohol, and drawing more of a landscape looking brush strokes across the trivet. I could leave half the trivet with the strokes across and the top part more of the loose floral. But I'll show the end product again at the end, how the trivet just looks like a floral a landscape to me. I'm blending some more in there. This time I'm adding the blending solution in instead of the alcohol. It's basically they're the same. They do the same thing. So I want to make sure you knew that you can use the alcohol blending solution or alcohol. There's some of the same outcomes. So now when I put the heat on, it's really cementing the layers of this now landscape looking alcohol ink trivet. So I still have shapes in there, larger shapes, smaller shapes. I still have some dark and I still have some light in there, which helps make it pleasing to the eye. So now I want to go in and add some more of my dots. So I choose a section of that dark section because it will go down to the layers and bring in some of the circle designs that I tend to really like in the alcohol inks. It's kind of like a signature of mine. Then I'm thinking I want to lighten up a spot there because right in the middle I have a lot of the dark, so I'm going to add some of the more of the gold to lighten up that spot right there. So you can see that this is in my opinion, more of a landscape look because of bringing the alcohol straight across. So you could have left it very colorful, like a floral looking design, or taken it a little bit further into this more of a landscape. So I hope you'll play with this. I hope you be kind to yourself. And I hope you really enjoy this because you can get a beautiful, beautiful product. And I will show you at the very last lessons how to finish this off with a finishing. But isn't that absolutely a beautiful product?